As I've mentioned before, I've been trying to come up with as many different ways of doing customs for these guys right here, because I have a couple of these guys. I have them in green and purple, and they're pretty great. These are the MechFan Toys KO Repro powered suits. Basically, same thing as Diaclone. Everything's compatible. So, and these are based very closely based off of the current Diaclone line. So I've been using them. I have a bunch of them. So I want to, make them unique and make them custom. And what I noticed was, well, first off, green, purple, green and red, old Diaclone colors or War Rooter colors, purples and like Insecticon colors. So I'm like, okay, I want to make these into like War Rooters, right? Maybe I can make them into War Rooters. So I've been working on the chest pieces. I haven't come up with any really good War Rooter chest pieces yet, but I hope to at some point. Hopefully, if I want to keep this what I'm about to talk about, the design that I'm coming up with. Oh, design. Anyways, so dinosaur. Wait. Okay, anyways, like I want to do, I'm often doing. Anyways, so I noticed when I bought this figure, because I needed to have this figure to go with my other Dinobots, I noticed that the hips on the people mode hips, how's this transform? There we go, something like that. The people mode hips actually are Diaclone size. They're exactly Diaclone size. So it's like I need to do something with that. I need to make there we go. I need to make these the leg arms. Okay, so the chest legs that become regular legs that are part of the chest when it's Dino mode work perfectly as legs for the powered suit. There we go. Stand you up all the way. And so I was like, okay, how can I make them even more compatible? And I was like, well, I'd like to use these. I really like this circle piece here. I really like to use this for something. I'd like to build these look like War Rooter type, Insecticon type stuff. I'd like to be able to scrap the parts, maybe get an extra copy of this figure. I actually have the Decepticon version, which is purple and yellowish greenish color. I have that one as well. The head's not as cool on the other one. This has the coolest sculpt. Check this out. Look at that. It's got like a Rocketeer fin. But yeah, I really like this figure, and I wanted to use it to make like a more custom thing. So what I came up with was this little ball socket thing. I'll put up on my Shapeways at some point probably. But I wanted to make them cross compatible. So actually first, before I remove the shoulder joint, let's go ahead and pop these legs off. You can pop the legs off. There's a ball joint in there. And then pop this one off too. I'm gonna break it. There we go. Okay, so you got the two ball sockets, which are exactly the same size as the ball sockets from this guy, which is just fantastic. Or girl. I think this is a girl. Autobot Slash. I don't know what the other one's called. The Decepticon version. But you can put these legs on here, and it looks totally like G1-ish kickback kind of thing going on, right? And so I was like, okay, I have to turn this into something. I have to do something with this. So I'm still working on the chest plate. I want to do something with a circle because, but I also want to make sure it's compatible with see if there's any compatibilities I can do with the new War Rooter suits, which I don't have yet. I'm still waiting on my pre-orders. Anyways, but yeah, then yeah, so those look really cool, and it gives kind of like a Insecticon vibe. And then if you take, I wanted to use those shoulders too, or those arms. Now, obviously, this would be scrapping an entire figure, so you probably don't want to use Autobot Slash since as like a long-term swap because, well, that figure's gotten pretty expensive. But the Decepticon version would be more than fine. So, anyways, this has the peg that's the same exact size as the hole on there. And you just pop it on there. It's got the hole with the shelf, so you can screw into that and give yourself a modified shoulder. See if I can get this in here. I've taken this figure apart so many times, this little power suit. It's probably been dismantled 20 or 30 times with all the prototyping and testing and stuff. And it will continue to have that happen to it until it breaks, and then I will have to make replacement parts. But anyways, I made this shoulder socket so that you can now put, because this is everyone's dream, not just mine. So you can just pop this on here and have yourself a merry little shoulder socket. So you can have legitimately like Insecticon-ish styled thing, and I need to figure out a way to use these for something. I feel like this would be really good, like behind the head, something. Let's see here, right there, like that, like Insecticon mandible type thing. But yeah, so then I haven't really figured out what it would transform into. I guess it would transform into some sort of like walking machine, stick bug thing, like that maybe. Those creatures from Mars, the Mars thing. I don't know, something like that. The water walking thing, creatures. I don't know. The really long legs. They look like trees. But anyways, yeah, so that's what I came up with. I think it's a pretty cool little setup, and it's useful, and it allows you to swap those arms, and then once I open the package for the other one, I can swap those in and make it all more cohesive with the purple and the greenish yellow, yellow green. But yeah, so that should look better. And I can use. I mean, you could feasibly use any of the decorations. You can find bug pieces from other Transformer figures. I don't know if there's any others that have this size shoulder ball. I'm sure there are. There's probably a lot of options here with this. You don't have to take apart your Autobot Slash to do this. If you can find other ones with the ball sockets, I know some of the little tiny figures that come in the little um some of the smaller figures, like the little tiny Optimus Primes, like the movie figures and stuff. They can they have the same hip joints. Some of them use them for arms. I have an Optimus Prime somewhere that's like this big that has it's a movie figure that has the same ball joints. But this is a way cooler figure than that figure. This one transforms much better. And these shoulder sockets are just wicked looking, like super like Grimlock style, you know, shoulder shoulder circle things. They're way cooler looking. Have fun, play with it. No, these are I'm pretty happy with this design. And then obviously I need to get another shoulder so that I can, do the whole thing. But anyways, that was what I was kind of working at. I was trying to figure out how to get those things to work together to make a Insecticon power suit. But obviously the chest doesn't match, so I'll have to do that at some point. Anyways, as always, thanks for watching and have a good night.